Okay guys, I'm going to talk a little bit today about some of the feminist problems that have come around. There's a lot of things that feminists talk about that they want to go against the grain, and they're really into trying to find research to prove their points, because like I always say, many people are like this, not just feminists. If they have an idea of what they think, they have this thought processes that they think is true, they go on the hunt to find information that proves that point, instead of coming up with an hypothesis and then trying to prove it to be wrong. They don't think that way. So there's a thing called Heighten Neoteny, or Neoteny, Heighten Neoteny. And what this is it's an evolutional and cultural biological thing where humans have grown up to desire certain things. It's the reason why men and women aren't really attracted to overweight people. It's the reason why women are attracted to men with scars, as long as those scars are scars from war, or being bitten by a shark, or something that shows that you're a man, that you're manly. If those scars have came from things like, say, attempted suicides, like slashing your wrist, those show that you're weak and unhealthy. And if you have marks on your body that show that you are unhealthy, then it's obviously not going to be beneficial to have those. And the same thing is happening with women, and these feminists who, you can't win for losing with these people. So there's these people, these feminists. Most feminists are women you wouldn't want to be with anyways, even if they're good looking, because some feminists are not, I wouldn't say beautiful, but they're not bad looking. They're women that you would want to have sex with, but they would be women you would only want to have a one-night stand with, because typically they have such a bad attitude and a bad the way they speak is so awful when it comes to men, that if you were their boyfriend, they would just be berating you all day long, and they would be abusing you, because feminists are some of the worst abusers of hypergamy and misogyny and man hate than any man. They're like 5 times worse. So yeah, for them to act like they have some some idea where they're better than men is kind of funny. But yeah, this Heighten Neoteny. Basically, it's like biological normatives which are universally shown to affect all cultures equally. And that's what they don't like. They don't like blanket statements. When you can show that feminists will tout that there is no blanket statement about evolution or biology that can be thrown out there to show that the fact that certain things, like, say, men desire a certain body type, that we can't say that because that's misogynist, But the fact is that men have been shown to prefer women on their menstrual cycle, when they are in their the highest point of them being fertile, basically. When they're in that point, men find them the most desirable, and they actually found this out doing a study with strippers. The strippers that were in this part of their time of the month were asked to dance for longer. They danced more erotically, and they made more money because of it. And men were able to find this out, and this is all in your, like, your reptilian mind in the back, where you're able to sense these things, through scent or whatever it is that allows you to do so. You're able to see this, and the feminists only in the last 70 years, 60 years have tried to say that all of these things that make humans and have allowed us to evolve to where we are now in our humanity, in the last million years that humans have been evolving, is not the case. That it is actually some patriarchy, some plot against women, and that we should go against our own brains, our own knowledge of what's going on. We should go against that and try to basically make women some I don't even know what you would say, some species where they're never, every woman, whether she's 900 pounds or 80 pounds, should be thought of the same way, that all women should be respected, even if they're not respectful to you, that even if a woman is abusive, she should always be treated with respect and never spoken to the way she's speaking to other people, these kind of things. And they just, it's like when you see these feminists speaking, the problem that I have with them is, what you find is, not only are they not very attractive, not just because they're not attractive, but also because, for me, somebody being very self-aware or kind of lacking of ego, but knowing I'm an important person, or something like that, and not being so shy and timid and stuff, is very attractive. Men tend to like that in a woman, but it can go from that to being really annoying, to where a lot of these feminists are just annoying, and they just have this idea that I may be 250 pounds and 5'3", but God damn it, respect me. And you can't do anything to these women and not have them feel it's a problem. If they're fat, and guys that like fat girls like them, then they feel that is misogynist, because they're being liked because of their body, And if they're not liked because of their body, because they're fat, then you're fat shaming, and you're not liking them because of their body, And if you're catcalling them, then you're a bad person, because you're using them as sexual objects. And if you don't catcall them, then you're a misogynist who believes in some body concept. So it's like there's no winning with them. They have no, anything you say to a feminist, they have a comeback which turns everything around. And it's a typical thing. I mean, if you've married a woman, you know that no matter what you do and what you say, they will turn it around. And no matter what they've done, they could cheat on you. They could, spend your money and buy something like purses and something, and they will turn it around and make it your fault. They're really good at that. And they'll convince you that somehow it was your fault. And, this is this is how feminism works. I mean, they use this feminine mind to convince you that everything you're doing in your life is subject, and that you should not have agency, and that you should recognize that they have a lack of agency, and that they're a victim no matter what. Women are always victims, even though they say that I'm a feminist and I'm a strong feminist and I'm a strong woman, but everything that comes out of their mouth is I'm a victim, you know? And you can't be a victim and be strong at the same time, you know? And it seems like the more you point this stuff out to them, the more you point out that, look, you're not strong. There's nothing strong about you. The more you point this stuff out, the farther back they go, you know, in their hole. And you'll see these girls, they can't believe, like I seen this girl, that Lacey Green or something like that, I forget her name, and this other girl that was doing a video. When the things that are coming out of their mouth are shown to be false, they lose all like ability to come up with coherent statements. You know, they're just they turn into Fox News, you know, where they're just like, they start bashing the person, or they just can't say anything, you know. And that's what happens to a lot of them. They go into this kind of like nana boo boo, stick your head in poo poo kind of thing, you know, where like they'll spout all this stuff, and they're like, oh, this has been proven, and this has been shown, and this study showed this, and this study showed that. And you raise your hand and you go, yeah, but in that study it was done on a certain group, and their stats showed that in the group 90% of them didn't even answer the study, and that only 17% did, and out of the 17% they've actually messed with the findings of the study that only showed that like 2% of the 17% of the 100% actually felt that way, and then they changed it around so that because of the 17%, the 2% that said that came out to be 40% because of the 17%, you know. So they say now 40% of men are like this, you know. When you start pointing this stuff out and showing that their study is just bullshit, and they're using studies that don't show anything really, they start to you know, they start to like go, oh, I can't believe he challenged me, you know. And they get this thing where they just like, sometimes they just lose their cognitive abilities, where they're just like, you know, they almost forget what they were talking about because they can't believe somebody actually challenged them on their fake bullshit WikiLink statements, you know. So that's another thing, you know. I'll put it in the statement below so you guys can find out what this is. It's called Heighten Neoteny, you know, and it's a very good way to shoot down a lot of feminist dogma, which I consider feminism is almost a religion. It's worse than a religion. It's more like you know, I would say like this. Use one of those old math things. Baptism is to religion as Muhammad is to suicide bombing, you know. So yeah, you know, something like that. So if you guys got any comments, questions, whatever, leave them in the section below. As always, share, like, and subscribe. Don't forget that I have the thing going on where if I get 5,000 views, I'm going to give away a guitar. So make sure that you tell all your friends to subscribe. And I also have a Patreon page. I'm trying to do more stuff, get better cameras, maybe get some better lighting, go out and do interviews with other people, try to get other people on my channel, do collabs, and also try to see if I can't speak to children and see what they think about all of the feminism stuff, and see if I can't get them to talk a little bit about the herbivore men and MGTOW philosophy, and see what they think about their parents, and the whole concept of what's going on here. I'd like to do some videos like that and put them up so that you guys can get real world experience about what's really going on here. So yeah, and like I say, if you get in the description below, you can go to the channel and make some money on your channel if you're into that. So yeah, share, like, and subscribe, and follow me on all my social links. They're down below as well. And have a nice day.